Hello, fine people of Earth. Thanks for checking in on my video. Today I just want to do a quick video about the Hydratech brake booster that I put in my C5 Corvette. This is my 2000 C5 Corvette. I already said that. ABS deleted. Doesn't matter according to the booster. Booster works with or without ABS. But it's heavily modified. Not really heavily, but it's got heads, cams, intake. The cam is pretty aggressive. I got about maybe 5 inches versus like 20 that I really need. And it varies depending on the situation, but there are situations where you're only getting 5 inches of vacuum. And what that meant is with the old vacuum canister booster, it's got a diaphragm. Vacuum pulls in the diaphragm and pushes your master cylinder with that little thing right there. It provides your brake assist. And you really need it. The car's not really set up for manual brakes. The ratio is wrong. So if you don't have brake assist, you really don't have brakes, man. So you really want it. And safety, safety is important. You don't want to cheap out. You can make these Hydratech units, or rather really you can make a hydraulic brake booster unit, but you can make your own plate, your own hardware, but I mean, why cheap out on safety, So I went out, I bought this Hydratech brake booster. It runs off the power steering pump. It's got a piston in there. It's about, 1200 PSI pushing on it. Provides ample assist, a lot of assist. And what I found actually was the pedal feels firmer. It feels firmer. The pedal throw is shorter. It's crisp. The brakes feel like all around improved. Like I couldn't believe they didn't do this from the factory. And tons of room to work. I can get to spark plugs, headers, steering column shaft. I mean, you can get to all this stuff now. You don't have this big old canister in the way. And they even painted it. I mean, it's got a really nice finish on it. It really looks nice. It's the nicest thing in this car at this point. But, safety really matters. So, I got plenty of brakes. The car honestly feels better to drive. I drive it more because I enjoy driving it because it just feels so much more well-rounded. So kudos to Hydratech braking. The system was totally bolt-in. Came with the mounting plate, pedal attachment hardware. Installation is, it varies. I did it in about a day. I think anyone could do it in about a day. It's really not that bad. You have to pull the steering column out, but again, it's not that big of a deal. And yeah, I'm super happy with it, and I just would highly recommend it. Another thing to mention is I did not have to change my reservoir. My stock reservoir was no problem at all. I mean, no issues whatsoever. It was broken in, happy, and 2 steps really. I mean, 10 minutes, it was done. It really wasn't a big deal. They give you all the power steering hoses and adapters, so you don't really have to scavenge up anything. Like I said, they got you the plate. The plate's made out of like aluminum. It looks really nice in there. It says Hydratech. And it just looks cool, It's kind of like got this mechanical, kind of solid mechanical look. Really something you just wouldn't expect if someone really knew what to look on this thing. The unit does also have an accumulator. So this is a nitrogen fill accumulator, and it kind of keeps a reserve of power steering pressure. So even if you did throw a belt, which, on the C5 Corvette, if your harmonic balancer hasn't been changed, it's going to happen at some point, So you can still brake. In fact, I shut the car off, I pull it in the gas station or at home, and just kind of roll it in with the engine off. I hit the brakes, and the brakes are even stronger. Actually, I end up skidding to a stop. So no problems there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It really is just that. It really is just that easy. Honestly, I had the expectation to do it in a day, and I had it in a day. And it was just so smooth. Just teed it into my return line down here. I'll probably post some better pictures in post. But yeah, I really just didn't have any problems with it. That really surprised me. You know, I'm not really huge into modifying vehicles. I bought this vehicle pretty much as it sits. I love it. I think every Corvette should have a cam. I mean, it revs. It's happy. It is so happy and awesome. So go figure. You know, that's really all it needed. You get the brakes all set up, you know, and most of the time, like, I really didn't hate the brakes before, but they just felt mushy and cheap. This just feels better, you know, and there's nothing special about it. It just does feel better, you know. I don't know how that works. You know, if you're doing certain things that, you know, you probably shouldn't be doing, you know, there can be a perfect storm where you just don't have any vacuum for your brake booster and it's depleted. And your pedal just gets hard as a rock, you know, and it's just, you know, you might be going a certain speed. It might be a lot faster than everyone around you. And, you know, you just don't have brakes, you know, or they come in a little slower and they're not really predictable. And, you know, especially in the ABS delete car where you just can't really stand on the pedal indiscriminately, having a predictable pedal is so important. So for that was also a huge important thing. You know, it really is so much cheaper than, you know, taking out an insurance claim or, you know, even, you know, jeopardizing someone's life. That's just not something you want to chance on. So you want your vehicle to have the best possible chance of keeping you safe, you know, and that's really what it's all about, is just being responsible. So thanks again for watching and have a great day.